What is it that makes you want to be a part of the city council? What makes you want to represent people in Santa Maria?
Well, I've been on the city council for 2 years. Prior to that, I sat on the planning commission for 7 years. I've lived in Santa Maria for 40 years. We've raised our children here. I'm in multiple Santa Maria organizations, and I feel I'm really vested in the city, and I want to do my best to try and make Santa Maria a better place to live. Being on the council is a good place to do that.
For the future of Santa Maria, what do you think needs to change, or how should Santa Maria evolve to become something better?
Well, on a very immediate basis, I think the most critical thing for the city of Santa Maria is to ensure the passage of our Measure U, which is on the ballot in November. Santa Maria will be a much better place to live in if Measure U passes, and it'll probably suffer some if Measure U fails. Measure U, as you know, is the increase in the sales tax from 8 to 8.75%. The city gets to keep all the money. The state likes to take our money away from us, but this we get to keep, and we need it, because the city's in a budget deficit right now of about $8 million. The increase in the sales tax is another $18 million. And we're in a structural budget deficit right now, primarily because of CalPERS and the requirement we keep paying more money to pay the pensions of our retired employees. This is a contractual agreement made in the past, and it is binding by law, and so it's what we call a structural budget problem. And so the city simply has to keep paying it, and there's not enough money to do that. In addition to that, it costs more money to run the city every year. Every time we repave the streets, the asphalt overlay costs more money. And of course we have to increase the the pay of our employees to some extent every year to keep up with inflation.
Okay. Crime. Santa Maria's up and down with crime. It was bad a couple years ago. It got better. A couple months ago, it got worse again. Talk about the future of law enforcement in Santa Maria. What do you think that direction should go?
Depends on Measure U. If we pass Measure U, we'll be able to hire new police officers and perhaps new fire personnel as well as using the money for things such as addressing the homeless problem. Insofar as the police goes, currently we have a lot of our police staff right now that are on duty because of passing Measure U back in 2010, I think it was. And if that goes away, in theory, we don't have the money to pay them. On the other hand, if Measure U passes, the 2018 Measure U, we'll be able to hire new police officers who will perhaps be able to give a presence in the community, possibly by doing the community policing or walking precincts. So that is a very important thing. And another thing is that there are certain crimes that are now considered to be low priority crimes, such as property crimes. And because it's such a low priority, oftentimes it's not investigated. The police will simply take a report, and that's the end of it, and you deal with your insurance company. But we may be able to get property crime investigation going too. Of course, as you may know, the state of California, in its wisdom, has decided to decriminalize property crime. There's a certain value of shoplifting you can do, and if I think it's less than $900 worth of shoplifting, if you're caught, you can simply be cited and released because the state of California thinks that's okay. So there are a lot of issues. Another, the fire department, it's very important we have a short response time. If someone has a heart attack or is in a crisis in the field, we like to have our fire personnel be able to, from the moment they get the alarm, arrive on site. within a certain number of minutes, preferably 3 or 4, because every minute that goes by can sometimes be a critical period of time if somebody's heart isn't beating and their brain cells are dying.
Okay. That'll work.